Hello and welcome to Captain of Industry. Captain of Industry is a colony and factory simulation game where we harvest resources, maintain a colony of, colonists who work for us, and build a factory using those resources spread out across an island and then eventually across basically an archipelago. This is a new game coming out today, as you're watching this as it releases on Steam, in early access from developers Mafai Games, another small independent developer, self-publishing this game. They've been working on this game for a year or two that it's been kind of popularized anyway. I don't know how long they've actually been working on it, but it's finally coming to early access. And I had the opportunity to get access to the game thanks to the developers a few months ago, and I was going to play it on my channel then, and I just didn't get time. So it's here now, and since today is, as I'm releasing this, it's release day, it's a good time to play it, I think. So I did do a little bit of a test game back a few months ago when I first got it, and then I did another little bit of a test, basically the same amount here, since getting into the preparing for this, just to kind of get comfortable with the game. Only a couple of steps in, so I won't have revealed too much myself. Otherwise, this is a fairly blind playthrough. I have not watched any other content on the game, so I'm going in blind, as I like to do with new games, because I like to discover the things on my own. For the most part, I'm open to hints about a functionality that I may be missing, but anything kind of relating to what comes in the future, I would like to keep a mystery until I get there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks again to Mafai Games for providing me with the key to play this for you today. And we're going to jump in and take a look at how this game works. So let's go ahead and click New Game. So New Haven is the alpha version map. This is the basic starting map. This is probably the map, or this is almost certainly the map I'm going to play. There's a lot of starting resources on the map, or a lot of starting resources. I don't know if that's on the map or that's what we come with. I think that's on the map. And there's plenty of resources on the map where we can get going. You can increase or decrease the resource size, the forest size, the elevation of the resources, and the height of the cliffs. There's also a beach map, Golden Peak, and You Shall Not Pass. But we're going to do New Haven because it is the easiest map. Standard difficulty, but the easiest map available. There's also a lot of difficulty options here, and you can easily toggle it down to Sailor or up to Admiral if you'd like. I think we're just going to go ahead and play in Captain as being the default of everything here, and then you can randomize your game seed here too. And as we'll see when we get into it, the game seed doesn't actually affect, I don't think, the island itself. It affects the islands that are neighboring to you in the archipelago. I think that seems to be the case based on what I've done so far, but it could affect maybe some small things within the island itself. So let's go ahead and launch the game and just start taking a look at it. Here we go. So the game pauses automatically, bringing up the message center, which serves this message itself specifically serves as an introduction to the game. Captain, we have just docked. Our ship and the local shipyard will both need major repairs. The abandoned communication station near the dock could be deconstructed and used to smelt iron in a blast furnace, so we can build more vehicles and construction parts. It is essential to build a research lab as soon as possible, so we can figure out more blueprints for important things such as farms or a beacon. A friendly village you can trade with is nearby. Check the world map. Trading can be a lifesaver if you run into a shortage of critical products, so you should research and build a trading dock as soon as possible. So of course we can click on, I think we can click on all these links. Oh no, actually we can't. These links are just here as, these are key things to remember from this message. So the game unpauses as soon as you click out of the message center, but I repaused it again because I want to take a look around and show a few things. We have over here, the current population is 90. We have housing for 120 here in these two housing blocks. They each hold 60 people, and yes, those are shipping crates repurposed into houses. So that's fun. And then over here we have a local food market that supports these houses and other houses you would build around them here. We also have food for 37 months. We have 77 workers available out of our 90 pop. I think the others work here or here. 6 are working here. I don't know where the other workers are. We have 5 Unity, and Unity is a measurement of sort of like, well, Unity, but I mean it's like happiness basically. It's how happy your community is with your island and your factory here. And then we have I actually don't know what the heartbeat means. And then here we have the vehicle menu, and this was something that I wish the game had showed me, because it didn't at first. But among other things, you can use this menu to assign trucks to tree harvesting, and we'll get back to that in a little bit. Down here we have a variety of layers that we can show. Each of these layers is a resource on the map, and yeah, this map is not randomized. Okay, so it is, as far as I can tell, this looks exactly like both of my test games, really. And what we have here is groundwater in the bluish here. You can see that here. This is coal. This over here is iron. We have a lot of limestone and not limestone, just regular stone here. Here, everywhere. There's a lot of copper here, more coal, a lot more iron, and more limestone and such over here. So there's a lot of resources on the map. I don't think did I see gold? Yeah, well, here's gold over here. I didn't scroll that far over. Okay, so we'll come back to this as we need it. There's also some spots of crude oil on the map. You can see those, that little black spot there, and I think there might have been another one, but maybe not. But that's what the other islands are for, too, and we'll get to that in just a moment as well. We have a planning mode, which I'm not sure what that exactly does yet. Pause tool, of course, clone tool. So if you're building something, you want to clone it, you just hit C, and then you can clone that building. Demolish is delete, of course. And then here's where the buildings we can build, and we'll get into these more as we need them in a moment. But metallurgy and smelting, waste management, transports, which is automated transport, things like pipes and belts. We have buildings, we have housing and services. We have tree harvesting designation, and in this section here, you can see these are sectioned off. This section here will expand with a couple other designators. We have the message center, which we had up earlier, and then we have statistics screen, which we'll get into as we start looking at ins and outs and making sure our factory is balanced. And then finally, the world map, which is what I wanted to get to here. This is the nearby settlement they referred to in the introduction, and then the other islands in the area here that we can explore to and find other resources at. So in a way, this game works a little bit like the Anno games, in that you kind of have to go out to these other islands and gather resources or meet people or something. I honestly haven't gotten that far, so it's a little bit of speculation, a little bit of inference here, but that seems to be the case. Over here we have a listing of all of our resources in storage. All of them right now are here at the shipyard, so we have 380 copper plates, 400 diesel, 120 rubber, 300 cement, and 360 construction parts, as well as iron plate and maybe coal. I'm not sure what that last one is there. Probably coal, but it could be. And then you can also control your fullness or emptiness of different storages by using this green and red bars here, which we'll do later, I think. So let's go ahead and get started. The game doesn't really tell you exactly what to do other than what we saw here in the message center, which was to look at tearing down the abandoned communication station, basically. And then, of course, the research lab as soon as possible, and then, of course, the trading dock as soon as possible. So we're going to take a look at this. This here will give us metal scrap and concrete slabs. We want to start recycling that, but that doesn't actually do anything. By the way, there's 864 metal and 400 concrete slabs. Even if I unpause the game, that doesn't actually do anything, because they won't just tear this apart for fun. It has to have some place to go. So we want to do some metallurgy and smelting, which means we need to have a blast furnace. And all of these buildings have a in and out depending on what the material is. Here it's indicating there are 2 input ports for automated delivery of metal scrap and coal. And then on the output side there are 4 output ports. 3 of them are marked. 1 of them is for exhaust. That's smoke, basically, in this case, as well as 2 ports for, what's it called? Molten iron stuff. So we're going to put this here-ish to kind of make it a short chain between this and this. It's going to have to be kind of manually delivered. We can't automate this, the collection of this, and the delivery of the iron scrap to this. But this is the only recipe we have currently here at the blast furnace. Metal scrap plus coal yields molten iron plus exhaust every 20 seconds. And one of the nice features to this game, and one that I'm going to turn on and basically leave on, is this show per 60 seconds. So it's 8 metal scrap plus 4 coal equals 8 molten iron. But I like to show it in minutes so that I can have equalized ratios. So we have 24 per minute plus 12 per minute, because it's just 20 seconds here. So it's just triple. Yields 24 molten iron. But we don't know where to get coal from. Well, Coal Maker seems like a good place to make coal from. And actually, even mousing over here does tell us that. So we needed to get 30 wood, and every 60 seconds that makes 6 coal. Here in 60 seconds we need 12 coal. So if we're going to go with ratios right away, and why shouldn't we? Then let's do these like here. Oops, I always forget how to do the place down more than one in a chain kind of thing. I think it's like shift click or something. We'll try it again in a little bit. But these will take in wood, 30 wood every minute to make 6 coal every minute. And we get the wood by harvesting trees, and that's where this tree harvesting designation comes into play. So we just literally drag a box around some trees. And that's how you mark the trees. And if I unpause, nothing's happening still. And that's where we go back here to the vehicle management. I want to assign a couple of trucks to tree harvesting. We have these 7 trucks here. You can see we own 7. We have these 7 trucks here, and they're doing nothing right now. So we just assigned 2 of them to tree harvesting. The other ones are going to start driving. You can see them here, driving away. They're picking up a bunch of stuff to get some of this stuff built. While they're working on this, we need to take a look at what to do with this molten iron. We're going to get 24 per minute. And the metal caster takes 12 molten iron per minute, turns it into 12 plates. So we need to take these maybe just a bit away. Let's see, maybe not that far even. Let's do like here. I forgot to hold down shift and see if that would do anything. I'm going to hold down shift now and see if it does anything. Okay, it does let me keep it. Good. And that this connects up like this, or this looks like it would connect here, and it will. We just need to use the transports, and specifically a molten channel, which, as you can see there, it says it supports molten iron. There's also a pipe that supports exhaust and diesel. Let's go with a molten channel, and we want to drag that, click that, and then drag and connect them up, and you'll get that nice green icon. And then we want to connect this one up to here and make it be a little distributor splitter thing. And that should be good enough. This is complaining here because this, whatever this 4th output is that we don't know what it does, here is bumped up against something that's not connected, but it doesn't actually do anything for this recipe, so that's fine. The other thing we need to deal with is from here, exhaust here, and exhaust from these 2 as well. And actually these are already complaining about it, I think. I think that's what the complaint is that they don't have exhaust. And so what I want to do is put down a smokestack, and the smokestack will take 600 exhaust every 60 seconds, and these are producing 12 exhaust every 60 seconds. So we can handle a lot of exhaust on one of these exhaust things. I think what I'm going to do is just put it like this. I think this will work. Let's see. And let's put a pipe here, connected up to... No, it's not going to work. Not what I wanted. Escape. Let's see. Let's delete that. And then I'm going to move it again out to here. And then we'll do a pipe for the exhaust. Oops. Here. Into there. And then the same thing as we did with the molten channel. Let's go here and connect it up to there. And that'll give us another junction for the exhaust. And let's unpause the game again. We did get a tutorial here for iron smelting. That shows up here in the message center. The blast furnace allows smelting ores, scrap, and other products into molten materials, which could then be cast into final products in the metal caster. Smelting iron. A temporary solution is to use metal scraps from the abandoned communication station. Once that is exhausted, you need to start mining iron ore. However, smelting ore produces slag, which is actually the fourth output, that needs to be dumped out to the terrain. Other products work similarly to iron. You can choose which recipes are enabled in the furnace by clicking on them. An enabled recipe shown with a green border around it, and the little checkbox too is green. Coal is needed to smelt ores. If you don't have access to coal mining yet, you can use a coal maker, which is what we're doing, to produce it from wood. Wood harvesting. To harvest trees, select a truck and click the Assign to Tree Harvesting button. We did that. Well, actually, we did the opposite way. You can also prioritize trees for harvest by using a tree designation tool. The other way to select trucks for tree harvesting is to click on them and click on Assign to Tree Harvesting, which is a button here you can see on these other trucks that aren't doing tree harvesting. All right, so let's unpause and let them drive around again. Oh, there they are. I was like, where'd the rest of them go? So they'll just drive back and forth from here at the shipyard to pick up materials, out to here to build the things that we want to build. We do have to build another exhaust, or somehow connect up a pipe to an exhaust here. We're just going to build another exhaust, another smokestack. It's 10 construction materials, so it's not that much. And you can attach them directly there like I just did. You don't have to use the pipes, but I wanted to share this smokestack with both of these. So that's why I did that. We have 7 Unity now. We're gaining 1 per month. That's because people are happy with their life a little bit because of the food we're providing them. We have 35 months of food supply. And then here we have another tutorial on logistics. There are 2 main ways to transport products: trucks and transports. Trucks are the most versatile way to transport products around the island. However, for periodic deliveries, it is better to build dedicated pipes or conveyor belts, otherwise your trucks can get easily overwhelmed. You can see the current load on your logistics system in the overview panel on the top left of the screen, right here. Transports. Most of the transports can go up, down by pressing E and Q keys during their design process. This is handy when trying to make space for vehicles to go under. Trucks can go under any transports that are at height 2 or higher. However, other vehicles, such as excavators, cannot go under a transport. In order to let them pass transports, you can build a vehicle ramp, small. You can also split and merge transports by just simply connecting them to each other. If you need control over priorities and ratios, you should research and use dedicated balancing units. So we did that. We split and merged by connecting those pipes and molten channels together. Pro tip: click on the red-green arrow next to a machine port to automatically select a corresponding transport replacement. Ooh, nice. Note that some products like molten materials or gases, such as steam, can't be loaded onto trucks, and they require a transport. Trucks and storages. Trucks automatically prioritize their deliveries. Trucks delivered to storages when some other machine or vehicle needs to get rid of a product at high priority and there is no other machine that really needs such a product. To override this default behavior, you can drag the green slider in a storage to the right to keep the storage full, or drag the red slider to the left to keep the storage empty. For example, dumping slag out. Both of these principles are illustrated in the image of iron smelting chain below. So here we have slag transport. This is a belt taking the slag out of that 4th port right here and dumping it into a storage. And so you can see here that we want to prioritize getting rid of most of the slag. We want to keep the iron and the coal fairly full so that they can keep smelting. And then they go out to the channels here just like we have kind of laid out. Trucks and transports for machines. Sliders have no effect on connected transports, so the belts and the channels and the pipes will always work regardless of what you set the sliders at. Those are only for truck prioritization, or tasking. Once machines are connected via transports and a first product is received, trucks will no longer try to receive that type of product and let transports do the job. Right, and that's where, let's click on here actually, and pause again. We have a missing input, right, because you haven't provided me with any coal yet, because we're still working on that task. We have a truck import option here, and auto says trucks will be allowed to deliver a product, but once the product is successfully received via conveyor or pipe, trucks will no longer be allowed to deliver it. If the conveyor or pipe gets disconnected afterwards, truck deliveries get restored. And this is the default behavior auto. Turning it on will always allow trucks to deliver here. Turning it off will never allow trucks to deliver here. And the same thing on the export side. You have the same kind of prioritization, and you can always also set priority here for worker assignment, electricity, maintenance, and Unity consumption. And these put them at 10, which is like 2/3 down the list. I've not fiddled with that on anything yet, but I also haven't gotten much beyond at this point, so we're going to see. All right, so we have hopefully have coal being made. Yes, we do. It takes a little while to make because it runs at 20 every 40 seconds, or sorry, 4 every 40 seconds, so it does take a little while to process. And then these trucks are going to come over here to get it instead of one of these trucks that was sitting here already picking it up. Okay. And see, they don't have to really get super close to it. They just have to kind of get near it, and then they'll pick it up. So they're going to deliver here. We already have a bunch of wet metal scrap here, and we're processing that plus the coal to make the molten iron. You're complaining about something. Oh, I see what you're complaining about. I don't have a pipe connected. I put this in the wrong spot. That's right, we'll connect a pipe there. Here. There you go. Somebody come and build that, please. And it's complaining. Oh, that's that complaining. That's fine. But you can see that the molten iron was distributed by this vaguely evenly. It needs more than what it got, so it's going to have to keep processing, but it will as soon as we get a little bit more product in here. I don't know if it splits evenly or if actually yes, it is even. So now they've gotten enough that they can start processing. They needed 8 to process, so they've got that, and now we have some iron plates getting made. Great. No tree harvest. We picked all those trees already. Little message up here. We did indeed. All right, fine then. Pick some more trees. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, so that's the first thing that we had in our message center in the welcome message here. The next thing is the research lab, and then finally the trading dock, which we'll have to unlock at the research lab. So we need to go to buildings here and the research lab, and this is just kind of a place it anywhere. They do deliver products here, but let's go like here. I think they deliver products here. Actually, maybe they don't. There are a couple of researches already done. I'm not sure why they bother even putting them here, but the basic iron smelting from scrap is here, and then also the pipes are here already done. And I'm going to unlock basic farming because you kind of need to get that started fairly quickly. Otherwise, you will get stuck in your lack of food for your people. All right, and they are delivering the trees now. Good. Research lab is ready. Congratulations for the first research lab, Captain. You should research and build farms before our food supply runs out. Yeah, I did. All right, already. Make sure you build them soon enough, as it takes time to grow more food. If you run out of workers, make sure to bring more people to your island by building a beacon. Refugees who find us via beacon will also bring valuable resources with them. Also, keep an eye on the supply of construction parts and build assembly manual to produce them. If you need to speed up your research, you can build more research labs. But don't forget that running them costs Unity. Unity is naturally generated in settlements when the people are well and happy, but can decrease when their needs are not met. You can visit the settlement to see the details. So here you can see our Unity went down a little bit, and that's because we built this research lab that consumes 0.25 Unity per month. So I don't know why it's not 0.75, but whatever. In order to operate. So you have to keep that in mind, that you have a balance to go with this as a resource as well. So as soon as this research is done, then we'll be able to start working on farming. And like I said, it can't happen too soon. So we now have iron plates. We have 32 of them. It's not a lot, but you don't need a lot. And we have, this has got to be coal. Yeah, that's coal. Also here. And you can pin these resources also and unpin them if you're not interested in them. In watching them, that is. What is this? Oh, the recipe list. Okay, we will look at that in the future if we need to. So the other thing it told us to make that we can do right now was Maybe we can't do it yet. No, we can't do it yet. We have to unlock it via the research. Okay. Then let's speed the game up a little bit. We'll go up to speed 2. By the way, if you haven't noticed, there are these little worn tracks here that are forming as the trucks are driving back and forth to building, especially from the dock to these buildings. And that's how roads form. It's kind of like in Foundation, I think, does this, which is a city builder, colony builder game. You have these kind of naturally forming roads based on the wear and tear of the vehicles, and in that case, the people who are using them. Let's just give them a bunch more trees. We're not going to need a whole lot more trees because in not too long, we'll be able to start harvesting this coal. Farming is nearly done. Kick the speed back up to 2. I've knocked it down again. Research complete. Basic farming. And so you can click on that and you can open the research screen from here, which is really nice. We're going to take the construction research next. This gives us the ability to unlock the manual assembly building, which takes in iron, wood, and concrete slabs. That's where you put the concrete slabs from the whatchamacallit, the communications antenna, to make these construction parts that we're using to build everything with. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but everything we made took 20 construction parts, 60 construction parts, 30 construction parts. So everything takes construction parts. We got a new button down here, food production, and that's a farm. We want to take a look at the layers here because we want to put this down in a place where there's good groundwater. So let's put this farm down. We could do it like right up next to here. I want to make sure that I pull it back far enough that it's always all in the water, the groundwater. So we'll go like right there. That should be good enough. Turn the layers back off again. Unpause again. And they'll come and build that too. Here come the trucks zipping along to go and get the, I assume those were also, 30 construction parts. There you go. Build, build, build. We can actually start planning this. So, farming is an interesting thing in this game. You have to set a crop schedule. And you can see here we have fertility. And we have the average production per month. One of the things we want to each farm can be set up with a crop rotation schedule up to 4 seasons long. Crops will be grown in order from left to right. Any missing crops will be automatically skipped. For example, to set up a 2-crop rotation, select 2 crops in the schedule and leave everything else blank. Crop rotation can be important for farms' fertility. So we have 100% fertility. If we click on this, we can grow 2 things. We can grow potatoes, which consume 24 water per month, and also consume 10% fertility. And after 6 months, you get 35 food. They also can grow green manure, which consumes 24 water per month, and after 4 months, you have 10% fertility gained. So you can easily see how you can set up potatoes, alternating with green manure, to keep that fertility high. And so that's what we're going to do. This will actually let you advance the crop schedule to the next one in case you wanted to start at a different spot, but we're not. We're just going to go and get started here. So we have... potatoes can last 8 months without water, and they're harvested in 6 months. The soil water level is 0 right now, but it'll go up once we get some rain, I think. We'll see. That consumed 10 workers also, so we're now at 45 workers available. Let's see. So that's going to be that. We should be unlocking construction soon, and we'll get that unlocked here very, very soon, hopefully. And then we can work on that. You can build more than 1 research lab, but again, you don't want to overstrip your Unity gain either. So maybe at this stage of the game, you could have 4 of them just to get it started, and then you'd want to probably decrease that at some point to regain some more Unity. I think I'll just stick with 1. This is going to all back up here in a moment anyway. Actually, that's already backed up. There is storage. I don't think I've unlocked it yet, though. So I'll have to wait to unlock the storage. Research complete. Construction. Let's open the research panel here. So now we can move on to the second tier. Trading dock gives us the trading dock and the unit storage, which stores up to 180 units of a solid product. Power and maintenance give us the maintenance depot, diesel generator, and maintenance 1. I don't think we're going to do this one yet. I think we're going to get started on vehicles and mining, because this is where the fun begins. So you get a vehicle depot, which is reminds me of the old days of like Command and Conquer, where you're making the vehicles in a building, and then they roll out, and we'll see that enacted here in this building momentarily. In this building, you make small excavators and pickups. And then this mine control tower enables you to assign a designated mine area, assign vehicles to it, and then mine or dump in that mining area. And we also get a new recipe for the blast furnace, making molten iron out of iron ore and coal. And it's going to also produce slag in that fourth slot, that fourth output. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and start the research of this. So let's build that new... it's over here. General Machines, Assembly Manual. This takes in iron, wood, and construction blocks, and it's going to output the construction materials. I'm going to put this here, I think. We'll let somebody come and get the stuff and get it built, and then they'll start delivering wood from the trees here. They'll also start delivering some of this iron we're smelting here, and also these construction blocks from here. And you can see we've knocked down from 800 something down to 616. I think it was upper 800, something like that. I can't remember what the exact number was. And then we have 400 concrete slabs that we're going to be able to deliver here to make those construction materials. And eventually this thing will all be gone, which is why we need to get the iron mining and iron smelting going as soon as possible. And you can actually see this is all backed up. There's molten iron sitting here. Well, not anymore because they just picked up a bunch. But you can see it sitting in the machines here, sitting in the channel here, waiting for the machines to be empty so that it could be used. And weirdly, it doesn't actually ever, cool. Assembly is ready. We can start producing construction parts to build more machines and buildings, but don't forget to scale up our iron production to cope with the demand. Some machines and vehicles require regular maintenance. We should research and build a maintenance depot. We're going to, as soon as possible, otherwise our equipment will start breaking down. So I think, though, that this is actually a good place to stop this episode. These episodes are all going to be a little bit shorter, because if I can pull this off, there's going to be more than 2 of these a week, maybe 3 or 4 of these a week. But we'll see how many I can pull off on the usual week, at least until Foundry is finished on my channel, and then this might move into that slot, or there might be something else moving into that slot. So we'll see, but I want to try and get these out as often as possible, and we'll see what happens. It is going to delay or defer Terraformers for a little while, but the good thing about that game is you can kind of always come back to it too. So we'll figure things out. And trying to get as much out as possible in the limited amount of time that I have. So we're going to leave this here, and in the next episode we will let vehicles and mining get finished, and we'll get started mining some coal and possibly some iron as well. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you then. Bye for now.